Trafalgar?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bleep some of these.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, who cares?
G'day all, and how's it going? Welcome back to Nothing But Footy, lads. How are we?
Yeah, good. I got Will back in the seat next to me. Good replacement. Get him back in the seat. Drop Sharky back to the bench this
Sharky in the
week.
seat last week.
Yeah, I was.
Hey, did you listen to the review?
I listened to the first 5 minutes.
Oh,
So you don't know what he did.
No, what'd you do?
Well, you might have to go back and listen.
Did you do something to my chair or my
Nah,
mic?
not to your mic. He did something to
To
your
my
mic.
mic.
Yeah.
Did you lick it?
oh yeah. I
Oh,
did.
he did more than lick
he
it.
would've
Let's
burped
just-
on it or
No, he
something.
did more than lick it.
Okay.
He did
Well,
some
I'd rather live in,
more
confusion. I'd rather not know. I like a kid. But yeah, back at it. Obviously, I was
Dying.
literally dying, like in bed all week. Didn't go to work, not a single day. Just death upon me. I'm glad I made it through. Keon's watching TikToks at the moment. But yeah, happy to be back, feeling a lot better, and yeah, ready to kick and rip it.
With that, we're going to go ahead and move into the first calling Kiz.
Well, how's Keon?
Okay, let's talk about Keon.
No,
we got to talk about Keon now.
nice to know that someone cares, baby. Didn't actually get asked last week how my weekend was.
Oh, no way.
Jesus, it's not a pile-on session, guys.
Jeez. How's he supposed to let his feelings out?
So,
You know?
yeah, no, I'm good. Not sick.
Yeah.
Just good.
it's
Somehow
a good
you
way to
didn't
be.
get me sick was what was surprising.
I have no idea how neither of you
Yeah.
got sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all in your house.
Well, my mom got very sick.
Oh, dead set?
Like, didn't work a day last week.
Oh, bullshit. Well, sorry. Sorry, Mrs. Shark. That's my apologies. I don't know how Keon did. It was all in his car. I was trying
Oh.
not to touch anything.
I turned the aircon on straight away after you got out. It was that hot.
Yeah, it was fucked.
was
At the end of it, by the
dying.
end of it, I was like,
But you were
shit.
still shaking.
It was so bad. Like, that is the worst. I woke up in the middle of the night and it felt like
Sweats.
my head was on fire. I was sweating, but that's the coldest I've ever been in my life. It was like, oh my God. Death was upon me. But yeah, we're back. So yeah, you're good.
Yep.
Played footy, got the win.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Sharky, captain for the first time
Yeah, skipper.
on the weekend. And he got his new nickname, Yellow.
Nice.
You want to
You
explain
want to
why?
explain
I
it?
got a yellow card. For a
Just fighting
stupid
people.
reason. Didn't even
Just-
fight anyone.
Discipline.
Punch someone in the face.
No, I didn't. I was ripping blokes off a back.
Yeah, you're
Jeez,
doing more
ripping
of that.
backs off a bloke.
Yeah, just gotta be more disciplined sometimes. Really taking in the James Sicily skipper role. Not too many touches and being a bit feisty.
Yeah. He needs to get dropped. We'll get into that later.
To calling Kiz.
You've called Kiz. Who is it?
Fucking get him off.
Yeah,
Get Minson off.
he's coming off. Get him back off. Get him off. Get him off. Come on.
Minson off.
Rock.
G'day, guys. I just wanted to talk about Collingwood. I'm a Pies man myself, and I reckon this year we look more complete. We look like we're playing a more solid brand of football than we did in 2023. And I know we won the flag that year, but I don't know. There's just something about this team and the way we're playing and the way we're able to hold on to leads. I think is a massive thing as well that we didn't do as well in 2023. I'm really looking forward to. I don't want to go too early. I know it's mid-year, but I just want to say, Pies are looking really, really good. I think we're playing better than we did in 2023. And yeah, go Pies.
I completely agree. This Collingwood team is ridiculous.
Mm.
I can't lie. Like, you've got Billy Frampton actually playing good
Playing well,
football.
yeah, I
that's the biggest piece. You've got Billy Frampton playing good football. So
And blokes coming in and making an impact.
Like the fact that they can have Ed Allen come in
Against
and
Rising Star this week.
gets Rising Star, Ned Long come in. They're getting young talent in and they're still playing such good football. And it starts with their veterans. Their veterans have been like all Australian. Jamie Elliott's leading the Coleman. Oh, maybe not anymore because of Jezza, but he's top 2.
Yeah. I just find it crazy how like they've got Pendlebury who's 34, Sidebottom's 34, Elliott's 32. Like they've got these older players who are almost playing career best football.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Sidebottom's on for a Brownlow,
He's
genuinely.
playing like good
And
football.
It's funny because after opening round, we spoke about how they look too old
Mm-hmm.
and they look too slow, and they've adapted perfectly. They're getting out game planned as well. Oh, sorry, they're out game planning every other team they've come up against so far. But yeah, I completely agree. This is a scary team, to be honest.
And that kind of brings us into the Friday game, Hawks versus the Pies. Obviously, we're going to get into how horrible the Hawks' performance was, and we've just highlighted how good the Pies' performance was. I'd just like to start it off with, I feel like anyone in the league was going to lose that game. Probably not by 10 goals, but they were in some unreal form.
Are you trying to make it sound better?
No. Like, we played abysmal, but like, they played so well. Like,
Yeah.
you can watch it back and you just go, wow, like, they played some unreal football, and it just really highlighted the Hawks' weak spots, I reckon.
The only good player for you guys was Jack Innerman.
Who only seems to sometimes show up.
Yeah, but
when-
he was fucking incredible.
He was.
He was ridiculous.
He was unreal.
Unfortunately, this game though, he won't get the 3 votes like he did last time.
No chance.
Yeah, I was saying that to someone, and they're like, nah, he'll still get it. I was like, no way will he.
He'll poll.
Oh, yeah. I think Cheeky one
He'll
vote.
poll. He'll get one.
Yeah.
But
You reckon he'll poll?
I'd probably say Steely. Oh, no, Jamie Elliott.
You had Elliot with 5, and then you had Nick Dacos 32
And then
and, 1, and
Steele
then Steel
Sidebottom.
Sidebottom 2 and
Yeah.
27.
I think he'll poll. 31 and 3 is a pretty big score. I'd say maybe he gets over Steely. And then you go Elliott, Dacos.
Yeah, because I think Sidebottom
Guinea.
was better than Dacos, but they probably prefer to go with Dacos.
Yeah, they'll give him the votes, probably. Had his contested mark.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not a fan he did it
Congratulations.
on us. I'm not
Yeah.
happy he did it on us.
He did it on Warple as well.
Was it really that contested?
No,
Mr.
No.
not really. I reckon he took a more contested one when he was playing one out in the square be
yeah,
honest.
but that one didn't count.
because it was a free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But geez, you know he's an overspoken about player when everyone is posting it, and it's the only thing people can talk about.
I will say that is one of the only stats they could nitpick
Mm.
that he was bad at. And don't get me wrong, he's still only got one, but it shows how good of a player that you've got to be pulling up contested marks to.
I've got a fun fact. There's a player who's a pretty good player, well-known player, who was on track to win a Brownlow in his first season, who actually took longer to get a contested mark.
Oh wow!
I wonder if can you guess who you reckon it is?
On track to win
He
a
was on
Brownlow
track to win
his
Brownlow his
first
first
season.
year. It's a big clue to you. Maybe not to Sharky, but
Not Errol. Errol was his second.
he's probably no longer the best player in his team though.
Oh, Clary?
No,
Mm.
recently.
Very recent.
Yeah, played with Nick Dacos in high school.
Matt Rao.
Mm.
He hasn't even got one yet.
Has he
does
not got one yet?
I
thought
don't
he
think
had
he's got one.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'm pretty sure he's on that list as well of
Is
blokes
he?
that haven't taken
No,
any
I thought he had.
contested
I thought he
marks.
had. A
Maybe he
couple.
has one. Yeah, but oh my god, that 2020 season, Matt
Mm.
Rao. I was with you guys when we were watching a couple Gold Coast games.
Oh, he was just elite.
Dude, that was different. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. But yeah, in terms of Collingwood, just their ball movement, it flows so well. And Hawthorn were just
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's
headless chooks.
I'd like to say, first of all, I feel like one of our big things is last year we would get the ball and it was kind of instinct. We'd move on. But now I can think of numerous times, and Charles, a perfect example in my head, that he would get the ball and he would sit there and he would wait and he'd take the full 10 seconds. And it's like by the time he's there, everyone's moved up. And that's something that I feel like, whether that's other teams figuring us out or whether that's us just not playing that instinct football anymore and overcomplicating it. That was one of the things that was highlighted to me in this game so much.
I completely agree. There was times I was watching Chol.
Sleepy.
He would take a mark on the wing and he would just sit there. And it was like, what happened to the fun Hawthorn? Take a risk. Take a kick in board.
Yeah.
Like, it completely ruins the type of play you want to play. And that's why you don't see very good games from people like Dylan Moore anymore and, you know, Nick Watson and Connor McDonald. It's because the way you guys played was dangerous and it got them involved. But when Chol just fucking sits there, you know, you guys have no marking targets up forward, realistically.
Yeah, I think we don't rebound off.
If you guys don't use Gunston one more time, I'll flip it. He was fucking furious.
he was
Holy
so
shit.
angry.
So angry.
But yeah, that's one of the things. One of the players I want to just discuss with you guys, I don't like James Warple. I feel like every time he gets the ball, he just dump kicks it and it goes nowhere. And I understand he's trying to fill in that role for Will Day, but I just don't feel like he's using it that effectively. And it's kind of, you get the ball and just boot it and he'll pray that someone's there. What do you guys think about that one?
I thought he was your best midfielder.
Yeah, I thought he's been pretty good this year.
Like, in terms of especially this game, Newcomb was terrible. Josh Ward's touches were just nothing disposable.
I couldn't even tell if he was out there.
Yeah, he had 26 touches. I bet you didn't know that.
Nah.
Whereas Warple, I thought he was at least winning the footy for you guys, you know?
He has it a lot. But I just feel like if we got him to just make those smart plays and just cut it across and like tear up and be a bit more risky, be a bit more clean with it, we look like such a better side. And that's what Will Day is for us.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's trying to be that player.
You're always going to look worse when you're having a bad game. Like, as in, those dump kicks are fine when you're winning because it doesn't really... Most of those dump kicks don't get intercept marked. They normally just become more stoppages. But when you're losing and they're dump kicking, it makes you so much more angry.
Yeah. And the final thing I'll touch on is Sicily. Like, I've never seen a bloke so lost, uninterested. A couple times he was just sitting in between two players. And it's like, you got to commit. Let's just rip that off. Like, what do you guys think of that? Keon?
Well, I spoke on it last week. I think you got your biggest problem is the fact that you actually have Josh Battle and Barras, and that's kind of stuffed you. You've kind of wasted what you could have got with what you had. In terms of could have gone and got a tall forward or something else rather than going two key defenders when you already had Sicily. So I think at some point the damn wall's got to break and someone's going to have to come out of the team of those three. Whether that's a stint for Sicily to try and go find some form or something, I
wouldn't be
think there's
taking
a
Barras
problem.
out.
And I think I would be inclined to. He's having the worst season he's ever had since his debut season. And again, I highlighted it last
Sicily
week.
or Barras?
Barras. I highlighted it with Sharky last week about how Hawthorn's biggest problem is small forwards, and then bang, Jamie Elliott goes and kicks 5, sorry. So
Yeah. Battle was on him and was just a non-factor.
that's
at
the
all.
problem. Like
Way too slow, doesn't match up well. And that seems like what happens with half of Hawthorn's defenders is they're so big and slow. They're interceptors, but they can't catch up with these little forwards.
Yeah, with that probably wraps us up and moves us on.
I just wanted to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Another issue, like you got Jack Scrimshaw, who was just terrible, like genuinely. He got subbed, maybe halfway through the third?
Yeah.
Something like that. But he's not picking off any kicks. He's not even getting the football anymore. So your back line is almost your biggest enemy in some sense.
Which was our biggest asset last year, I reckon.
You've gone for too much for sure. And you got to find a way to make it work with Sicily, Battle, Barras, Scrimshaw. You know what I mean? Like, it's 5 bigs. It's just not going to work.
The other thing was, once again, Hawthorn goes and dominates the stats. Again, they win majority of the stats, and then it's their pressure. 2 weeks in a row, they've had under 40 tackles. For context, they're averaging 60 for the season, and that number's dropped a bit more as well over the last 2 games. So you could probably say they average about 65 over the season, and 2 games under 40. Collingwood had 82 tackles. So pressure is the biggest focus that teams are going at against Hawthorn. And Hawthorn, there's just no pressure for them. Ginnivan said it'll be a bring your mouth guys to training type of week this week. But that was probably a last week thing. It probably shouldn't have been needed this week. But yeah, I thought Collingwood was elite. I don't know. I thought Ed Allen was really good up the wing. His efforts, he put a lot of 1%ers in. I actually love to know what his 1%ers were because he was in and out of, he'll be in the back line, then be in the forward line, he'll be in the back line, then be in the forward line.
To the Giants versus Richmond, and this was a nail biter. This was something that I wasn't expecting. Turned the TV on, saw it, and I was like, wowzer. Well, let's just,
This shouldn't have been a nail biter at all. We kicked 17 points. Like, I've brought it up in previous podcasts. There's a TikTok about it. We are the worst team kicking for goal. I don't want to hear about Melbourne at the moment. We're going to pretend that doesn't exist right now. But this was like beyond anything I've seen. It's been pretty bad this year with the young kids, and you expect that. It's fair enough. But it's actually costing us. These guys would have been put to bed in the first quarter if we could kick straight, realistically. We missed at least 4 or 5 set shots that were 20, 30 metres out. And I'll say this again. The set shot is one of the only things in AFL football that is the exact same across all levels of football. 30 metres on grass is 30 metres on grass anywhere. And you can talk about pressure of the moment and stuff like that, which obviously is a factor. But in terms of just skill base, that's all you. You know what I mean? Keon can go, if Keon can kick a goal from 30 metres out in a local game, that's your best chance of kicking a goal in an AFL game if you just got plunked 30 metres out right in front. Where there's no pressure, no one's trying to tackle you. Anyways,
It's the only time when you're the one in control.
This is
of the
completely
moment
your
of the
control.
game, yeah.
So this was just the most infuriating game, to be honest. I could feel the loss coming, and in that fourth quarter, we stopped playing the way we were playing in the first 3 quarters. We started playing to how they wanted to play, panic footy, like we were trying to control the ball, but it wasn't working, and we were just turning it over. And, we paid for it, and fair play to the Giants. I'm still really proud of our guys. I expected a 60-point loss, at least, especially in Sydney. So to even come this close is, testament to the lads.
Yeah, I thought Richmond was very good. I was one of those moments where I just kept sitting there and I was going, when are Richmond going to come? When are GW's going to come? They're going to come at some point. They're going to come. They're going to come. And they didn't come. And then they came in the fourth quarter and you went, here it is. And yeah, you could just feel Richmond tried to slow it up too early. And even the commentators said it with 2 minutes to go when GW's got in front. He kind of went, this could be better for Richmond because they could go. And they almost had a couple chances as well with a couple minutes to go. But yeah, GWS was awesome. Callan Ward, upsetting to see him ACL, potential career ending, you would say. But I'd love to know what he said in that speech because, that got him going.
Yeah. And it's kind of good to see, like a bittersweet moment. In that kind of vibe, Richmond don't need a win like that.
Well, that's the thing. I think for Richmond, this year isn't like a winning year, but they gained so much out of that.
Yeah.
In terms of they learnt how to beat good teams, but they can now also go back and learn from the mistakes they made to end up losing the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that wasn't one where we were like, we weren't just in it the entire time. We were smashing these guys. Like we were up like 7 goals at one point. So yeah, it's a big learning factor for us. Definitely proud of us. Having Dion Prestia in the side.
Oh, he was amazing is the way he played.
Like changed everything.
From the get-go, he was just...
Yeah. It gave Hopper and Taranto that like freedom kind of thing, Nank had that tap down and it let them go to work. And I guess you could say, former team, shove against the old team, but he was really good. 31 touches and a goal. Yeah.
With that, we'll go ahead and talk about a game that took me even more by surprise. D's versus Saints. Saints getting up in the Northern Territory. Cam, what are your thoughts on this one?
Oh, I thought we were awesome. The way that we moved the ball was great. Handled the pressure. I mean, Callum Wilkie, he's that good. It is amazing. When they had moments where they tried to get in the forward line, forward 50, they just kick it to him. He would have loved to be a forward in the Melbourne forward line because he would have kicked about 12 goals, I reckon. I think he had 15 intercept possessions for his 30-odd touches. The second half, but mainly the fourth quarter of Wang Dean Miller, he was elite. He had 15, I think, in that fourth quarter. Hitting targets, making plays go. Unfortunately, other players weren't able to make it happen for him. Had the 800 meters gained, only off a 69% time on ground as well. 2 handballs for him as well, so 27 kicks he had. And yeah, he was awesome. Sinclair again was awesome. Just makes things happen as well for him. It's very noticeable when our 2 best ball movement players combine for 50 kicks and 4 handballs only. That's the damaging number. I thought Brad Hill as well. Again, Brad Hill had 23 kicks, 3 handballs. So when we move the ball by foot, it shows that we're a damaging team. And in terms of Melbourne, they just could not kick straight. Taking silly shots. I will say, I think their shots were more difficult though than St Kilda. They were struggling to get good, 30-meter out kicks. They were having to either kick them from around the body, from the boundary line, or from sort of 40 outside 50 areas.
Yeah, this game was a testament to St Kilda's pressure, and they did so well at taking the opportunities and rebounding the ball when they could. In my opinion, Melbourne should have been destroying them in that first quarter, but Melbourne were just stupid. They would get such a good inside 50 and then Melksham would spray it. Or they'd get such a good inside 50, pick it with a one-step snap, and then Brad Hill's on the line. And then the Saints would make them pay, They ran really well, and if Melbourne weren't kicking goals, which they should have been kicking goals, or at least points, Saints were straight away the other end. I thought Isaac Keeler was absolutely amazing in that first half. Max Hall, I thought, was also really good in that first half.
Dan Butler.
Yeah.
Come back.
My boy. And that's great to see that you don't need to see Jack Higgins play an amazing game for you guys to do well. I thought your guys' running was just really good to see. Just outran them, outworked them. And, people can say that, Melbourne should have won because of their, how many points they kicked. But in my opinion, it was the Saints' pressure, the reason they had so many bad shots and the reason they missed so many shots. So fair play to the Saints, because that first quarter, to me, could have felt like Melbourne came out really far in front if all things went the way it should have.
Yet we were up 30 points
Yeah.
at quarter time.
Yeah. Exactly. It just goes to show, the 2 points that Melbourne would have had is Melksham 20 metres out, and then Keziah Pickett not even kicking in a point on that snap. Just to completely go. And I'm pretty sure you guys kicked a goal on both occasions.
Yeah. I want to highlight Anthony Caminiti. Again, he played an absolute good game. He played well last week as well, I thought, against Gold Coast. Don't think he'll be leaving the back line. Finally, Ross has he's stuck with him. I know what will happen when Dougal Howard comes back, I don't know, but maybe Dougal Howard doesn't come to the team because Caminiti's been elite. And then what he does, because he can mark the ball, is I feel like Wilkie now goes, I trust Anthony enough that I'm happy to maybe let my player run to that pack, or so I can pull off to a different direction, something like that. Because Wilkie's playing elite football, but there's a reason why he's going to be playing elite football. Yes, it can be because he's an elite player, but something else is helping. And I think it's because Caminiti is playing elite football. He's literally feeling the Josh Battle role. It's not like he's playing as a proper key defender, only having, 8 touches. He's getting his 15, 16 touches a game as well.
Yeah, he gets the ball a lot more than you'd think he would.
Yeah.
For sure.
That takes us to Willie's Wonkers.
We're back. We got 3 this week. 3 relatively good ones. Starting off, Nate Caddy. He's kicked goal of the year, but at the same time, he's missed an absolute sitter in the square. Takes a mark, plays on, kind of out the back. And I forget who it was, but he had great pressure in stopping him from kicking the goal. But yeah, Nate Caddy, right in the goal square, just absolutely shanks it. Next up is, I just spoke about it before in this game. It's the Kasiah Pickett one-step snap. You're not that cool, mate. What was that? That was genuinely atrocious. He genuinely only took one step. It got 0 airtime and there was a bloke right on the line there. So I don't know what he was thinking. And then Ryan Marich in the Sunday game saved the goal with his face. The Falcon saver. Copped the sub afterwards as well. So shit day for him. But he saved the goal. So that's what that matters. Yeah. And those are the Wonkers for the week.
You did touch on it in the Willie's Wonkers, but we'll move to Lions versus the Dons, which was a game that I thought was going to be an absolute bloodbath. But the Dons did a good job to stick around with them.
Yeah.
Well, it turned into that. It started off like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then something kicked it. It was like as soon as the rain sort of came down, Essendon went, oh, we're better. And, it just shows again. We got a quarter of Brisbane hitting their strides. And then again, they just dropped away. It's their inconsistency that's killing them. It's just showing how good of the team they can be. And then bang, they just give it up again.
And they've done it against every team. Like 2 of the quarters they played against Richmond, they could have beat us by 1,000, realistically.
Yeah. And then it's not like it's different quarters either.
Yeah.
They might play a good first quarter, they might play a good second, a good fourth, a good third.
Yeah. That first quarter though, I could see it going out to be a ridiculous margin. I thought it was going to just blow out from there. And, that would have made sense, to be honest. They just did not fire a shot, Essendon, in that first quarter. But really did a great job to come back. Their young guns were their best, for sure.
Jai Caldwell's third quarter, 18 touches was it? And a goal. He was elite.
Ridiculous. Kyle Lohman, way to come back. He kicked 3 out. First time he's kicked a goal since the grand final last year. And Nick Martin is just a genuine superstar.
Yeah, I think if we had a most improved award, it'd go to him.
Every time he kicks for goal, he kicks the goal. Like he had 2 shots at goal, I think, and he kicked both of them.
And I think there was times where he was probably more selfless than he could have been. Like there was one time where he kicked it to Gresham, and
I know exactly the
and
kick
he went
talking
across
about.
the goals.
Yep.
And probably put
And
Gresham
pulled the
almost in a
kick.
worse spot.
Yeah.
Where he could have gone for it and I would have gone, even if you missed, I would have said fair enough.
Yeah.
So there was one there where I reckon he could have kicked that as well. But I agree. He's elite. His running capacity is elite.
It's ridiculous seeing him in the back pocket and then the next second he's in the forward pocket. And you know that if he has the football, somehow he's got so much space. I don't understand. Where is he getting all this space?
The crazy thing is, right, so he starts at half forward, right? But let's say he makes all Australian team. Where do you start him?
I don't know.
Because
you just pluck him on the wing.
He's that good in the midfield. He's that good in the back line. But he starts in the forward line and kicks goals.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
and he kicks goals. Like
he
genuinely gets them. Yeah.
And the crazy thing is he's had 2 what would be 10 out of 10s for Essendon in the last 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
With Zach Merritt barely, not barely going noticeable, but not being their best player.
Yeah.
So it's now 7 and 37 who are the ones standing up for him. And look what happens when Zach Merritt gets a helping hand from Nick Martin. So if someone else can go with him, then if Jai Caldwell can keep doing what he's doing, why not?
Yep.
to the Gold Coast, where we had Freo upset them at their own home ground. We know how strong they are up there, and Freo came out and said, "No, we're here." What did you guys see in this one?
I was just amazed. This game started during my footy game, so didn't see the score till half time, and I went, "Oh, geez, Freo in this game, up a goal, I think they were at that time." And I thought it was their ball movement. That they're in elite form at the moment, and this is what Freo does. I don't know how to feel about it, because are they gonna do this next week?
Yeah,
Or-
I have no idea where to put this team. Somehow they're in the 8. I don't get it. Because they're not good and then they're really good. How do I think of them?
Yeah, you had a crush on them at the start of the year, and then you
I had a
rode
crush
them
on
off.
them before they even played, and
Yeah.
then they were just fucking shit. And now they're good all of a sudden. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Who was good?
Oh, Sarong, Brayshaw were good. Clark was
Yeah,
very good.
Clark was very good.
And I thought Jai Miss is finding form as well.
Tracy
He's
is
doing
just something
good.
going on.
Yeah, he's fallen a little bit.
He didn't kick one, I think.
I think Shea Bolton, even his pressure at times,
Mm.
he laid a tackle right at the end to Sealer to get
Yeah.
a miss goal. He laid a tackle. Now, the tackle didn't result in holding the ball or a ball up or anything, but it fumbled the ball out and Miss picked it up and kicked the goal. So I thought they were awesome. In terms of winning the ball, they lost more clearances. However, I felt when they won a clearance, they won it better.
Yeah.
They were able to get it inside 50. And the other one was I wanted to get your thoughts on how you thought the two-man ruck duel went. Obviously, Sean Darcy came in. Gold Coast brought Ned Moyle in.
Yeah.
And Darcy, don't know how many touches he finished on. He finished on the 3, but up until 3/4 time, he had 1 touch.
Yeah.
Had a lot of hit outs though, but was not doing anything. Had 6 Supercoach points halfway through the third quarter. Was really struggling. What do you do about it?
It's a good question. It has to be, in my opinion, it has to be Luke Jackson. We can see that Sean Darcy is just not there. And we've seen it happen in other ruck scenarios. Mark Pitternet, he got taken over by Tom de Koning. Ned Reeves, he got taken over by Lloyd Meek. You see it happen all the time, And unless they can make something work in sort of a Peter Laddams, Brodie Grundy kind of way, but I don't. It can't be Luke Jackson going forward.
Jackson goes and has 27 touches, 21 hitouts, 4 clearances, 400 meters gained. And almost, it's one of those things of, if I'm Luke Jackson, I'm starting to get kind of pissed off at this.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, if you're Freo and you want to hold on to Luke Jackson, why are you playing Sean Darcy
Yeah,
then?
you don't need him.
Like, you're making him get more angry at you when you're trying to be nice and trying to keep him from
Trying to
leaving.
keep him.
Because if Luke Jackson goes next year, I don't know what Sean Darcy is going to do. Yeah, he only played 50% time on ground, had 30 hitouts. But you need your ruckman to be a little bit involved.
What was the point in getting him? If you didn't have full, I can understand maybe the vision of having him play half forward, half, and then Darcy controlling the ruck. But this is your best ruckman. He's an extra midfielder. It's ridiculous. He can win the taps. He can win the footy. He can kick goals when he's tired. You can play Pat Voss in the ruck when Luke Jackson's tired. And Sean Darcy's form is just not good enough. I could understand last year maybe when Sean Darcy would have some really, really good games. But unfortunately, unless Sean Darcy can find a way to play forward at the same time, he should not be in the side. Or otherwise, Luke Jackson might actually end up at Melbourne next year.
Mm-hmm.
That moves us on to the ons and not ons, along with a few questions from the listeners. Actually, it's all questions from the listeners. And the first one we have is from Chris. He goes, how do you 3 blokes with a podcast suck at Supercoach when Fergus picked up Draper? So a little bit of context in this one is in our draft league. Someone picked up Draper. Draper obviously is out with the season with ankle injury, Achilles, sorry, and we're not doing that well in the draft. Well, personally, me and Keon aren't.
I just beat this bloke. I don't know what he's talking about. I've got the third most points in the competition. How is this guy chatting to me?
I don't know, but he is. So I would quickly just have a quick rip into that. And while I do that, Ken, do you have anything to say on that one?
No, my team's not taking any comments at the moment.
You're
We're
reviewing
closed
it
doors.
internally?
We're taking it club. I don't know, closed doors, mouth guards to training, just everything.
I will just say as well, while I'm at it,
Mm-hmm.
the person who made this comment has never been above me in the ladder. At no point
Yeah, in the whole history.
in the whole history has never been above me in the ladder.
and who also will put this on the record has actually lost and never fulfilled their punishment.
Fully
No,
lost.
they say that they will go, I have now because they'll have to do it because the Knicks lost.
Yeah. And he's never passed me in points scored. He's currently third last in points scored.
I think I have more points than him.
You
don't I?
have more points
Yeah.
than him. And I'm third.
So I don't think that counts as me sucking. I
Yeah.
have more points than him.
He actually has the same amount of league points as me, but he has over 1,000 total points scored less than me. That's a whole week. I could not play for a whole week and still have more total points scored than you. So I'd pipe down, little buddy. But I don't understand what he means by the Fergus part.
Well, Fergus picked up
Fergus
Draper.
picked up Draper.
What does
like
that have
last
to do with
week.
us sucking at Super?
I don't know. I think he's like, I don't know.
I don't know, he's grasping at straws.
Right.
And the next one we have is from another one, and I'll send a photo up to you guys. It's in the group chat now. But basically, they just want your opinion on how you build your team with 6 midfielders, including a wing and a ruck with $20. So if you just quickly go to the group chat and look there, I've sent that through. Just off the top of your dome, don't think too hardly into it. The options we have for $5 are M. Bontempelli, Errol Goulden, Zach Merritt, Tom Green, and Max Gawn. For $4, we have Jordan Dawson, Caleb Sarong, Zach Butters, Andrew Brayshaw, and Jared Witz. For $3, we have Clayton Oliver, Paddy Cripps, Isaac Heaney, Petrarca, and DeConing. For $2, we have Ollie Dempsey. I can't read that one. What's that? Canelio, Ed Richards, Harley Reid, and
Vicentini.
and for $1, we have Will. You can do these. I've never heard of these blokes ever.
Hugo Garcia, Sam Banks, Nick Cox, Dowling, and Archer Reid, the ruckman. Okay, I have how much? $20.
You have $20
Interesting. What do I have to do? 6 midfielders, including wings
and a ruck.
and a ruck.
So
Nice.
4 midfielders, 2 wings, and 1 ruck.
And 3 midfielders.
Why is Jared Witz
Oh, yeah,
the
sorry.
number the $4
Yeah, I know. That,
ruck?
I was like, DeConing's 3. So in my midfield, I think I'm going to go DeConing, $3.
Yeah,
Sharky, do my
same.
maths for me, please.
Yeah.
DeConing, Heaney, Dawson, Richards. What am I at now?
Sorry, DeConing.
Heaney, Dawson, Richards. I think that's $12. We got $8 left to pick my 2 wings.
Oh, Jesus. I've buggered this.
I'll pick Ollie Dempsey. I think that puts me at 14, and I can then pick anyone I want. Right, you got to go Bontempelli then.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 1 wing as Ollie Dempsey. You've got Bontempelli in the
No,
on the wing.
I'd probably move Dawson to a wing or Richards to a wing.
Okay.
I'll put Dawson in a wing. He can push back to the back line a little bit.
So I'm gonna go Dempsey as my wingman, first one.
For $2.
Yeah. Tom DeConing as my ruckman.
For
That's
$3.
It's just no brainer,
Mm.
really. You're not paying premium for Gorn and you're not paying $4 for Wits. And the other 2 ruckmen don't even fucking
They
play.
don't get
Like,
games.
what? How have they gone from? I'm not even going to bother. And then next up, I'll have Petrarca in my midfield.
So
So
that's $8 altogether.
$8. I need another wingman. I'll go Heaney in my midfield as well.
So that's $11.
$11. And how many more people do I need?
Two more.
I need 2 more.
Yeah.
And how many dollars I used?
9. You got 9 left.
I've got $9.
You got Primo and a second
Oh
Primo.
my gosh. I'm going Bont and then I'm going. Yeah, I'll play Dawson on a wing. So I'll go De Koning, Petrarca, Heaney.
Dempsey.
No, Dempsey's on the wing. Oh, yeah, and then Bont. So my midfield is TDK, Petrarca, Heaney, and Bont. And then Dempsey and Dawson on a wing.
Yeah. They're pretty good teams. Built them quite well.
Mm.
Oh,
Now-
I've got an extra $1. I'll get rid of Ed Richards and I'll take Petrarca.
Now, to Swans versus the Crows. And was this a bloodbath? At halftime, they'd only had 10 points against them?
I don't want to speak about
Yeah,
this.
it was literally a bloodbath. You know, the Bloods got fucking fucked.
And they were unveiling their what? Was it 2004?
5. Yeah, the 20-year.
20-year Premiership Cup, and they pulled it out, and they pulled out all the players, and they went out and got fucking slammed. So to think that this team made a grand final last year
Mm-hmm.
is just ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, plenty of injuries, and you know we feel for them, but far out.
But injuries don't do 4-71.
No. To be honest, like, I thought for a minute there that Hayden McLean was going to be their only goal scorer for like the entire game. There was no one else there that I thought was going to kick a goal. But yeah, that's really all I've got. Their midfield's just not clicking at all. Heaney's probably the only one. If it's not Heaney, it's no one. Chad Warner's just not really playing the best football. Good thing he signed to stay there.
He went at 29%.
Yeah. It's a very good thing he
Awful,
signed to stay
19
there
touches.
because his draft, like his value, his trade value has gone down
Depreciated.
a lot.
And the crazy thing is, like, the numbers aren't crazily towards Adelaide either.
No.
So it's not like it's just they just got absolutely obliterated.
Yeah. Every time Adelaide went forward, they would have they felt like they were
scored.
kicking a goal. Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to touch on in terms of what Swans can do to improve or what Crows are doing so well?
I just want to highlight Rochelli's last couple of weeks, actually.
Mm.
Uh,
Been elite.
7 goals in 2 weeks now, I think.
Yeah.
Been playing some good footy. Copped the criticism that he did getting dropped at the end of last year after some incidents off the football field. Yeah, and it's really good that they're able to bring Phil Thorpe off and just give him a bit of a rest.
Yeah. That's how you know they were fucking terrible. Phil Thorpe was just like, oh, I'm just going to sit for the rest of this game. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah.
To end the round off, we had
He's kicked 8 goals in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Shelley.
Eagles versus the Cats. And a game that was a little closer for comfort than what I was expecting.
See, I wasn't at the podcast here, so I wasn't able to say this. But I actually thought that this would happen. Not 43 points. I thought it would be a lot less. And I will say Geelong kind of blew it out at the end there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the score looks worse than what it actually was.
But I thought that West Coast would get close to winning, to be
Well,
honest.
yeah, if we go back, Sharky said the opposite. Sharky, I remember when we were talking about it, he was like, oh, and we'll go to this one to be over, this one's done, you know, whatever. And I was like, no, just give it a second. hold
Yeah.
up, tread some water. But yeah, West Coast, their ball movement at times was killing Geelong through the middle of the ground. And then, yeah, obviously Geelong pulled away, Jeremy Cameron specifically.
The
I thought players like Baker was quite good. Tom Cole, that's probably the best game I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
Was actually taking things on and making things happen. Elijah Hewitt, he's getting some good run at form at the moment. Tim Kelly to the half forward line.
I like it.
Good move.
I
Doesn't
like
go
it.
into the midfield at all.
Yeah.
It's where he played his best footy for Geelong
Yeah.
back when he was a gun. And he goes and has a goal, 19 touches. influential. And the noticeable one was they put Marich on a wing. And this came and hurt me in the Supercoach. And yet 4 weeks ago is actually what I asked for, was him to get out the back line. Because he wasn't damaging enough, and the 1 week they did it was the 1 week it ends up haunting me. So yeah, that was an interesting move by them. He actually wasn't very good off the wing as well either. So not sure if that's a sign of possibly is he going to get moved out of the team.
Yeah,
Thoughts from you?
I think so. If you can't get him back in the back line, and if he doesn't play forward, he's pretty fucking useless to the team, to be honest. I thought he was no good, to be honest. I will just say, with West Coast, like, apart from Baker, like, there's no one else there that gets the ball. Like, there's no big disposal getters.
No, yeah, that's it. Well, they have the least amount of disposals for the season.
And I feel like that's genuinely a big issue for them at the moment. Because Liam Baker's not known to be a high disposal getter at all.
No.
Never at Richmond. But he's their leading disposal grabber, averaging 20-plus disposals, which is, he's probably their only player averaging over 20 touches, which is not that many. And I think it's hurting them a little bit. But, you know, we see when other people actually pick up the ball a little bit more, it works out a lot better for them, you know? Like Tom Cole getting 24 touches. I know he had 0 CBAs, but Hewitt getting 20 touches, Harley Reid getting 20 touches. We're used to seeing these guys get like 13 touches, 14 touches, which is just not enough. So, yeah, I'd like to see them try and get someone like Bo Allen in the game, or a Tom Gross, someone that can pick up the footy a lot, Clay Hall even, because Bailey Smith had 25 disposals at halftime.
Yeah, halftime.
Like, you're not going to win a game of football letting Bailey Smith have 38 disposals, Brian Myers 26, Max Holmes 27, you know, like that much just there. Like just Max Holmes and Bailey Smith combining for over 60, you know, over 60 disposals. It's just like, how are you going to win a football game just like that?
And that's the crazy thing is that first half from even Myers, who I think had, no, he actually didn't have a very good first half. He had 10 at halftime, I think.
He had 2 goals though.
He did have 2 goals. But Holmes, I think he had like 18 as well at halftime. So if you're able to, let's say, nullify 5 touches off that, that could possibly would give you an extra goal as well. So, yeah, I totally agree. And Smith was able to hit the scoreboard as well.
Yeah.
And Holmes, both of them, he's, in great form.
It's the difference between just chasing ass all day. You know, if you can get the footy in your hand, it means you can make those decisions. And, you know, they might not use the footy well. Like Baker is awful with the ball, but you'd still want it in his hands rather than not in his hands, compared to Bailey Smith having the ball every single time, you know. But they were good. I'll give it to him.
I was actually very surprised that Holmes didn't have over 1,000 metres gained.
Yeah.
He had 700, I think, at halftime. I don't know how. He only finished with 880 or
Very
something.
slowed down
Like,
in that second half.
I don't know how he didn't. That would have been a lock for me.
Yeah. I also have no idea how Jeremy Cameron ended up with 5 goals.
My super coach doesn't know how either.
It kicked 1 goal in 3 quarters, and then in the 4th quarter, Jinby was like, you know what?
They give up.
You can have 4.
And Jimmy did really well.
I thought Jinby did a really good job.
awesome.
Yeah.
And was proactive.
Yeah.
Once the ball hit the ground, he went and got himself and made things happen.
That was one of the first games I've seen Jinby, and I was like, fair fucking player. Like, you did really well. And then, you know, you could see how pissed off Jinby was, because just to see his goal count go up to 5, it would have sucked. But now Jezza, he's leading the Coleman now from out of the sky.
With the round all done, we'll go into Kiz's crack.
Let me have a crack at him.
Let me have a crack at him first.
Let me have a crack at it.
Get all worked up enough to crack it.
First one's going to go out to the Sydney Swans. And it's not actually towards how they played on the week. I mean, it is, but it's to them as a whole group, their coaching staff, and probably just the media in general. I don't think you can blame that on your team being that injured, because you can't go out and just not want to play football. Like these are players you're picking to pick that they can play AFL level football. They're not, this player can maybe play some good local footy. No, this is an AFL level football, good VFL player. These are players that can play. And the other thing is, effort isn't a skill. It's a mentality. You don't have to be good at football to put effort in, and that's what Sydney didn't do all night, at least definitely in that first half, especially that second quarter. So it's just that everyone's saying, they're a bit injured. I can understand their game plan not working, but mentally you can't blame it on your injuries, because you're not going to go into a game going, we're going to be down 60 points at halftime and let our team opposition absolutely run the fuck over the top of us. And it's just players that don't show up in the last couple of weeks, i.e. Nick Blakey. Where has he been for the last, who knows how long? How long has it been, Sharky?
It's been a while.
3-4 weeks.
It's been a while. I'm pretty sure he's lost somewhere in the wild, just out there enjoying the sun. You know what it is? It's because the weather's bad. The lizard just can't react because he's not getting enough sun in. He's actually having a horrible thing. But I know the moment.
Holy shit, you scored 664.
Yeah, because the lizard is ridiculously shocking. Like, what is he doing out there? I think he's out there just trying to get every second he can. Doesn't touch it. He looks disinterested. Oh, it was so annoying. I thought it was a glitch when I saw it on my phone.
I also think their other problem is they're in this spot, right, where they're at the point where they're half rebuilt, half not rebuilt, because they've still got old players on their list, i.e. they've still got Brodie Grundy, they've got Dane Rampy,
Taylor Adams,
Jake Lloyd, Peter Laddams. Like, we're talking about players. Hamling, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Not that he's been a very good footballer, but he's been around for a while. We're talking about players who were around for their 2012 grand final win. We're on the list for that.
Lloyd.
So I just think, is there a time where, they're not going to make finals at this point? Do you just fully just let it go, Coxie, and say, we'll let the young fellas play, let Bice have it all? He's probably going to miss a couple of weeks, I think, Bice, unfortunately. But someone like Caden Cleary, get him more involved. Braden Campbell, he only had the 8 touches. He's playing as a small forward. Get him on a wing or maybe even the midfield. Corey Warner, get him a bit more involved. James Jordan, can he get into the midfield more? There's just players where Caleb Mitchell was actually quite good, I thought, in that first half.
Yeah.
He's probably their best player, I would say. So, yeah, there's just players that are starting to get onto the older end of the field, and I just start to question them. And, Chad Warner, he's just had a bad football game, at least. I think him, it's not one you can delve too far into. I mean, the bloke had 12 clearances himself, so he may have only had 29% disposal efficiency, but he played good football in terms of winning it out of the middle. And then the other crack is James Sicily, just a disinterested captain, not wanting to fight. I think he got moved forward as well, so maybe you can look away from the 6 touches. Maybe if he played the full game in the back line, he might have had 11 touches. Maybe you could say that. So 6 touches, not too indicative, but effort again. Effort's the big one this week. Effort's not there. Leaning back on kicks, dropping the head, thinking he can do things that he can't at the moment, being completely out of form. Pressure's not there. Nothing's there. I don't know when the last time he would have been rated in the bottom 5. Players on ground, 92 metres gained off 90% time on ground. He almost had more time on ground than metres gained.
He had 6 kicks, and the next worst was Finn McGuinness.
4 kicks.
Did he have 4? Oh, sorry. He had 6 disposals. The next worst was Finn McGuinness that came on at 3, halfway through to the third quarter.
Yeah. The next worst, Billy Frampton, for instance, he had 4 touches. But we talk about Billy Frampton like that, and we're putting James Sicily now
I know.
in that context. And Darcy Moore, Darcy Moore had one extra touch, but I feel like Darcy Moore was a lot more in the game than
Oh yeah.
Sicily was. And it's not even this week. It's a noticeable thing last week. Sharky and I spoke about it. It's just go get you. It's a Cornelio instance all over again.
It needs to be a sit down conversation for
Mhm.
sure, and I just don't think it's been had yet.
And I don't think people are saying he's playing with injury. And I
Nah.
don't think he's playing with injury because he's moving fine out there when he decides to move.
Mm.
And I'm not seeing leadership either from him. Normally, the Sicily from last year, there was pointing and stuff going on. Not seeing too much of that. I
Sam Mitchell's
don't-
also defensive about it. And the few times I've seen in the press conference, they'll ask him about it and he just shuts him down straight
Yeah, but
away.
I don't have a problem with that.
I just feel like I would like to know that it's being addressed in some way or someone in the club is
I don't think
saying-
it's not being addressed. I think that's just.
I don't think it is either,
a
but I would
coach-
like some transparency on
Yeah.
it.
I agree. I think it doesn't help how he just keeps getting swung back and forward.
Mm.
You got to make your mind up. The back line is never going to click if you
No.
keep changing the people that are in there. You know, if you want Hardwick as a backman, keep Hardwick as a backman. If you want Hardwick as a forward, make that choice and keep him there. Same goes with Sicily. You can't it's not just going to work every time like it did last year, where that was 2 games where he went forward, and that was through injury, where he had good games. The backline's never going to be able to settle properly if he's just constantly moving around. So they need to make their mind up. Do they want him playing forward? Do they want him playing back? And if they want him playing back, keep him there.
From Kiz's crack to Kiz's undercover night.
My name shining over.
Is that new?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
got him about last week.
sick. It's better than the shushing, like just the swords.
Yeah, this week I was actually disappointed. I had him in my head. I was ready to go, thinking he wasn't going to get spoken about, and then he goes and gets Rising Star. Ed Allen, I thought he was a lead on the weekend. I spoke about it before. His 1% is to get up and down the ground. There was one play where I think he was involved 4 or 5 times. Tried to lay a tackle on Warple. Warple fended him off. Ball got moved all the way down to Hawthorn's forward line. He was then there ball came to ground, got the ball, handballed to Dacos. Dacos should have given him the handball back, so Allen could have kept going. But did he drop his head? No, he kept running forward. Ball got kicked down the line. Ball came front and center. Ed Allen picked it up and then hit Myercheck. Myercheck kicks a goal open by himself in the forward 50. His run around the wing was awesome. Don't think anyone felt like playing it on him, D'Ambrosio or CJ. But yeah, just good on him. He was awesome. Good find for Collingwood. You can plot him there for probably the next 10 years and he'll go get the job done. And he's one of those players that, makes the role easier for Still Sidebottom, Pendlebury, and Elliott.
To the tips, we had Grace winning the tips for this round. Congratulations to her with 6 of the 7 correct. Then we still have Nando's in first overall, 1 point ahead of Matt. So a close competition up there for the
Oi.
top one. Then we have me at 5th with 4 of the 7. Keon, you're at 9th with 4 of the 7. And Will, you are at 6th with 5 of the 7. And then we have our tipping comp, where we have Keon with 64, Will with 61, and me with 63. So I'm 1 point behind Keon.
What did you get this week?
I got 5.
Same with Keon
Keon got 1 less, I believe.
or 4?
Yeah, Keon got 4.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, that's where it is. It's pretty close between us. Like it's one good round away from it moving.
Yeah, it's one close round where we go for opposite Smokies that it could definitely, happen.
That takes us to Will's Where's Your Wallet?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Alrighty. Starting off, we've got the Friday night games for the Wheels Where's Your Wallet?
None on Thursday?
Not that I can see here. All I can go off is the AFL. So I'm on the AFL articles at the moment. Yep, nothing I can see here at all, unfortunately. So on the Friday, it was Mabior Chol in the second quarter. He got a obscene gesture.
Oh, yeah.
Flip someone off. $1,500 fine. Lloyd Meek didn't get anything.
Fair enough.
It was a footy act.
Lloyd, everyone was saying
Oh, everyone's saying he's getting 3
he
weeks.
was getting 3 weeks.
And then he got nothing.
and he
I heard
didn't even
that.
get a fine.
I was so annoyed. I was like, he went to spoil it. Yeah, he got off the ground a bit late, but there was no malicious intent in there.
Yeah, his eyes never deviated from the ball. He doesn't actually hit Lipinski in the head.
It's the
Lipinski hits his head on the ground.
oh, okay.
So Meek hits body contact with him, and his arm gets close to his head, but his arm never hits Lipinski's head.
I thought there was a
So-
bit of bicep in there too.
Nah. So
Okay.
it's different to like the ones where Pat Voss whacks Vlossen and stuff like that, because they've actually hit them in the head. So Meek didn't cop anything there. And on to the Saturday games. In the Suns versus Freo game, Jai Miss gets striking. First offense, $3,000 fine. And the Giants versus the Tigers, Xavier O'Halloran gets careless contact with an umpire. First offense, $1,500 fine. And Kane McAuliffe, careless contact with an umpire. Second offense, $3,100. So that's big for young Kane McAuliffe. You feel for him. And the Sunday games, we've just got the D's versus the Saints. And Keziah Pickett, he gets striking. Third offense, $5,000 fine. And Aiden Johnson, rough conduct on Naz, he gets a 2-match ban.
Yeah, well. Yeah, that one was, yeah. It was there.
Yeah, 2 matches is a bit stiff. Did you anyone know Keziah Pickett's first half of his last name is?
No.
First half.
Kroppen-Yeri Pickett. It's like hyphenated. Never knew that.
Oh.
Wow.
Interesting.
The more you know.
It's like Junior Rioli.
Hmm.
Sometimes I wonder if they just sneak them in there. And then, like,
Like
'cause
Ian.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, it's like sometimes they just decide, oh, yeah,
It's like, you know what?
you're going to have this name to this week.
Yeah, literally. And then they just get rid of it. It's like, all right, sweet.
But that's so weird that, like, that's basically like Wangdean Miller.
Yeah.
But
they've
we-
never said it
We
before.
don't know him as Naziah Miller or Naziah
Yeah.
Wanganeen. It's like, it's not.
Naziah Wanganeen Miller.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yep.
That's how it goes, I guess.
Fair bump play on.
Yep. All righty. That's the Will's Where's Your Wallets for the week.
To wrap it up, we'll go into the 3-2-1s.
1 vote, 2 votes, that's 3 votes.
Jeez, we got new stingers. I was sick one week and we got some new stingers. This is great.
With 1 vote.
I've just got some honourable mentions
Okay.
first. Steel side bottom is an honourable mention for me. Who was my other one? Nick Martin was another one for me. And my other one was, who was it? Frick, man.
Lockie Ash is one for me.
Yeah.
No Guinea.
No.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, those were mine. Steel side bottom and who was my other one? Nick Martin. Those were my honourable mentions for the week.
Well, with 1 vote, Keon.
I got down Prestia, came back, played an instrumental role in getting Richmond in front for the first 3 quarters.
I've got Jamie Elliott, kicked the 5, like was just genuinely everywhere, like toyed with Hawthorn's defence.
With 2 votes.
I've got Jamie Elliott, same as Will had him for 1 vote. I think the reason why we probably got a bit lower, even though he had 5, it was a bit of a blowout, so wasn't too influential.
Yep. I've got Callum Wilkie, just genuinely landed in his lap every time the football went anywhere near him. Yeah, he was elite. 30 touches from a bloke like that with 15 marks going at 90%. So very good.
3 votes.
Bailey Smith, thought he was awesome, especially in that first half. And yeah, set Geelong up for the end.
I've got Dion Prestia. Yeah, he was just an absolute gun. He was genuinely a difference maker for the Tigers. Really hope he can play out the rest of the season with no injury.
With 4 votes.
Hugh McCluggage, he was pretty good in that game. He sort of has 4 or 5 really good games each year,
Yeah.
and this was one of them. Surprised he
It's always
didn't end up hitting the scoreboard, had the one behind.
Yeah.
But
Always kicks a goal.
yeah, he just finds one sort of like in a midfield stoppage right in front of goal. One of
Yeah.
those type of goals.
And it's one of those like doinky off the
And it's
boot.
weird
Yeah.
two-hand ball drop type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was really good, especially in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I've got Bailey Smith, 38 touches, 25 in the first half, hit the scoreboard, could have kicked 2. And there was a couple of times where he was wide open in the 50 there that they weren't looking at him. But yeah, I thought he was one of those guys that really like helped slow the game down when they needed to, when West Coast were getting close. So
And finally, with 5 votes.
Yeah, I got Cal Wilkie. Literally, I don't think St Kilda wins that game if he doesn't play. There's no chance. He was just, amazing. Will said it. 15 marks, 30 touches, 90%, cool-headed, wins the ball, steals the ball, yeah.
yeah. And I've got Hugh McCluggage, as Keon said, 41 touches. Definitely a game changer for Brisbane, and played a really good match.
Now, once again, there's been a change in the leaderboards.
Oh,
So we have Max Gorn with 20 points.
geez, 20 points.
Then the new second, Bailey Smith with 18 points.
Can we say votes?
Oh, sorry, votes. Then we-
I'm surprised he's not higher. I feel like Bailey Smith polls a lot.
Yeah.
He polls its cheeky 2 or 3 at most
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Then with 16 votes, we have Zach Merritt.
Wow. He's dropped off as well.
Then we have with 15 votes, Pickett.
Kasaya Pickett.
Yep. And then we have at 14 votes, Matt Rowell and Connor Rozee.
Mm-hmm.
With 12 votes, we have Lockie Neal, Jack Sinclair, and Nick Martin. And then after that, we have Caleb Sarong with 11 votes.
Yeah. Once we get further in the season,
Yeah,
it'll regulate
It will,
itself.
yeah.
Like when the good players come out. But one-off performances really do mean a lot in this.
What do you think
season
about
so
him?
far.
Max Gorn had 2 cracker games.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
2 10 votes both times.
Yeah.
Deserved as well, you know. If he
So-
wins it off that, fair play.
Yeah, fair enough. You don't see a lot of Finn Callahan up there anymore.
No.
What was Sarong at?
11.
11
Finn's on
votes.
10.
Yeah, so he's thereabouts.
He's a 40 touches, 3 goals away from
Being
back
in the
right
top of
on
the
the
leaderboard.
on the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Literally.
Fair enough. Well, we'll go ahead and start wrapping it up there. Do you guys have anything more you want to add?
Nah.
I just want to check how good was Finn Callahan's game. Like if that
There
was
were
in a
only
normal,
2 games.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If it was in its own round, we joke about it every week. Would he have been? He had 33 and 2, so he was all right.
it's a pretty good game.
He would have
7 clearances, 730 meters gained.
2 behinds as well, so it could have been better.
Yeah. I remember that game. Everyone was saying he
everywhere.
was going to be like a Brownlow favourite.
Yeah.
Because that was right after all the St Kilda stuff came out. What about the Sydney Hawthorn game? Was there anyone else that could have...
Will Day pulled 4 that week because he played 3 goals, I think he had.
Oh, he
did
had
he?
3 goals and 26.
Yeah.
God, you guys are missing him. 9
Yeah.
clearances.
We are well and truly missing him. Yeah, you guys had you had Will Day at 4 that week. Then you had Keon, you had him at 3. Lloyd Meek snuck in there with a few.
He was pretty good. I remember.
Sam Taylor snuck in there too.
He was also very good.
But yeah,
There you go.
well, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to check us out on the socials. We're posting there, making sure we got all the infographics up so you guys can keep up to date with everything. Loving all the answers and responses to the stories and socials. Really finding them great and love hearing from you guys and being able to make you guys a part of the pod. But until next time, we'll see you then.
See you
Yeah.
guys.
It looks like that's the end of the Nothing But Footy podcast. Thanks very much for tuning in. Go ahead and check us out on all of our socials. and we'll see you on the next one.